Hi, welcome. Your HMH lesson for today. We are mainly focusing on point of view. So you're going to need this point of view graphic organizer 17. It's in your packet. It looks like this. All right, point of view is basically who is telling the story, okay? So we're going to read Freddy the Frogcaster. As we read Freddy the Frogcaster, we're going to really focus on point of view. Someone's point of view is the way he or she sees things happen. Characters have different point of views. So if it's a first person point of view, the person, you see a lot of words in there that say I, my, and me. Third person point of view says he, she, and they. So a story written in first person point of view has a character in the story as the narrator. Look for a narrator who uses the words I, me, and my. The narrator is the person telling the story. So if it says I, me, and my, then the narrator is in the story. If it says he, she, or they, it's in third person, and the narrator is not in the story. So we're going to find that out today as we read Freddy the Frogcaster. This is not in your HMH books, so you'll just have to follow along with me as we read the story together.
Freddy the Frogcaster by Janice Dean, The Weather Machine. Illustrated by Russ Cox. Freddy the Frogcaster by Janice Dean, The Weather Machine. Illustrated by Russ Cox. Freddy the Frogcaster is your weather-ready nation ambassador, a program of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA.
It says, to my beautiful boys, Matthew and Theodore, I am so proud to be your mama and love you both so much. When I look at your face, I know I am truly home. How nice. That's the author. She wrote a little note on there. All right, let's read Freddy the Frogcaster.
Blue skies, puffy white clouds, sunshine with a light breeze. Ah, perfect weather for lily pad hopping in the pond near Freddy's house. Freddy liked rainy days too, splashing in puddles, listening to the pitter-patter of rain. Snowy days were also fun. A day off school to build snow frogs. The air so cold Freddy could see his own breath. Hot chocolate, sitting in front of a toasty fire. All kinds of weather made Freddy happy.
Okay, so we have some clues in here. We have his. It made him happy. So is it first person or third person? Very good. Third person. So, Freddy liked rainy days. Okay, so it's in third person. So here, who is telling the story? Who's telling the story? What's his name? Freddy. So you're going to write Freddy, and then we're going to check third person. Freddy. And then go ahead and write the title down. We keep forgetting to do that sometimes. The title goes here. I'll show you what the title is. I'll go back. It's called Freddy the Frogcaster. And it's right there. So go ahead and write this down under title Freddy the Frogcaster. You can pause the video now. Okay, anyway, going back. Oh yeah, and we forgot to do some vocabulary as well. Let's go over some really important vocabulary words. Sometimes I forget to do that. Let's look here. We have the word toasty. Toasty. There's a fire, and it looks like a hot drink, and they have cozy socks on. Toasty is warm and comfortable. So we were warm and toasty as we sat by the fireplace. So toasty is to be warm and comfortable. We also have chief. It looks like this is the chief of the fire department. I could tell that it's a fire department because of the fire truck behind them and some of the things that they have on their head, the helmet and their material. So chief is an adjective. It's something that describes a person or a firefighter. Someone who has a chief in a job title is the lead or the most important person doing that job. So a chief can not only be with firefighters, it could be with police, it could be with any profession. So someone who has a chief in a job title is the lead or the most important person doing the job. We have hazy. Here it looks hazy. The city here looks hazy. That is something that is not clear or hard to see. Kind of like foggy. Yes, it's not clear and hard to see. It's hazy. Very good. And then we have boast. Boast. The boy, it has his hands up, showing his muscles. When you boast about something, you speak about it too proudly. My cousin will often boast that he is the strongest boy in the class. So if you speak about it too proudly, boast is kind of like bragging, right? Ruin. Oh no, he ruined the toast, or they ruined the toast. So when you ruin something, you spoil it. Okay, not really burn it. Well, here, yes, they burnt the toast. But to ruin something, you could say, oh, no, you ruined my drawing. Did I burn your drawing? No, but you spoiled it. You made it bad. Okay, and then we have accurate. Accurate, last one. Excuse me. When something is accurate, it is correct. The weather report predicts snow was accurate. It said it was going to snow, and it did snow. It was accurate. So when something is accurate, it is correct. All right, we're going to stop right there. Tough will be on the next one. So we were reading Freddy the Frogcaster. Sorry, I kind of jumped around a little bit. We're going to reread this real quickly.
Blue skies, puffy white clouds, sunshine with a light breeze. Ah, perfect weather for lily pad hopping in the pond near Freddy's house. Freddy liked rainy days too, splashing in puddles, listening to the pitter-patter of rain. Snowy days were also fun. A day off school to build snow frogs. The air so cold, Freddy could see his own breath. Hot chocolate, sitting in front of a toasty fire. All kinds of weather made Freddy happy. His mom says Freddy was born to be a frogcaster. She remembers the very day it became clear. Freddy was barely bigger than a tadpole as she pushed him along in his stroller. He pointed at a big gray cloud and said, "Rain." It was his first word. Mama Frog barely had time to push the stroller home before it started pouring. Freddy and his mom watched Sally Croaker, the chief frogcaster, on the Frog News Network every morning. Sally was the best meteorologist in town. Everyone relied on her forecasts to plan their weekends, trips, and events.
All right, so evidence that we have that Freddy, I'm sorry. We're looking for words that are evidence to why it's written in third person. So it says his. It says his a lot. His indicates that it's a third person. So here on our reading graphic organizer, we're going to write his. That's it. All right, let's keep going.
His mom says Freddy. As Freddy grew, he kept his eye on the sky, watching the clouds for clues about the weather. Some days there were big heaps of clouds that looked like cotton candy. Sometimes they looked flat and hazy like a big gray blanket. Some clouds were wispy and curly, like a horsetail.
All right, again, we have he. Remember, he is one of the words that tells us that the story is in third person. So what's another word? He. Let's write the word he down. All right. Let's keep going.
Freddy was so interested in weather that Papa Frog built him a weather station in their backyard. It had thermometers, barometers, and all kinds of weather instruments. On the roof, there was a weather vane to show the wind's direction. His parents never had to ask Freddy what he wanted for his birthday or Christmas. The weather books, charts, and tools they got him always made him happy.
They always got who? Him. They always got him. So him is another one. Also, it said it. It indicates that it's also in third person. So we're going to add him and it. So I'll write him here just because. And then it. And then it. Alright, let's keep going. It's always made him happy.
Freddie started each day gathering weather clues. He watched the clouds, but he also paid attention to the temperature, barometric pressure, and humidity. Then he ran back to the house to watch Sally's weather forecast to see if his predictions were right. At first, Freddie's mom thought his weather watching was cute. But Freddie was right so many times that Mama Frog couldn't help but boast to her friends about his weather predictions. Before long, the whole town knew about Freddie the Frogcaster.
So she began to boast. So she began to what? Kind of like brag, right? She's bragging. Oh, look, my son always knows. Oh, look. Anyway, and then here, another one is she. Who is she? His mom. She always bragged about him, right? So she is another one. He, she, him, his, it. Okay? Alright.
One day at school, Freddie's friend, Holly Hopper, was worried that it would rain on her birthday and ruin her outdoor party. Their teacher, Mrs. Fibian, said, "Why don't we ask our own frogcaster for help?" Mrs. Fibian handed Freddie her chalk, and Freddie drew the forecast on the blackboard. He explained how a high-pressure system was hovering right over Lilypad. This meant the weather should be sunny and warm for the next few days. Hooray! The whole class cheered when Freddie finished his report. He was so excited when Holly invited him to her party.
Very good. So we have he, him, his. And we already have all those words, right? He, him, his. Very good. All right, let's keep going.
Then, one day something happened that changed Freddie's daily weather routine. Sally Croaker, Freddie's favorite TV frogcaster, had 3 little tadpoles. While Sally was out on tadpole leave, the Frog News Network hired a new frogcaster to fill in. Her name was Polly Woggins, and boy, was she a hit. Every group in town invited her to come speak at their meetings, from the Salamander Society to the Bullfrog Ballet. All of her special appearances kept her hopping. The attention was great for the TV station. More and more frogs tuned in to see the new frogcaster in action. But Freddie started to notice a change in the forecasts. It seemed like Polly was so busy with all of her celebrity appearances that she didn't have time to watch the weather clues. Several days in a row, Freddie's forecasts were more accurate than Polly's. Some days, Polly didn't seem to have a forecast at all. Mother Nature is being tricky today. It may be sunny, or it may rain. Who knows? It may even snow. Be prepared. Frogs were juggling their umbrellas, sunglasses, and mittens. That way, they'd be ready for any type of weather.
Sounds like Texas. Very unpredictable. But does she really know what she's doing, though? No. No, she doesn't. Does he? Yeah. Yes.
One day, the mayor dropped by to pay Freddie a visit. "Mr. Mayor, what can I do for you, sir?" Freddie asked politely. "As you know, Freddie, the Leapfrog Picnic is a week away. It's a big event for frog families near and far, and we need an accurate weather forecast that day," the mayor said. "Why are you telling me?" Freddie looked puzzled. "Polly Woggins is the new frogcaster." The mayor looked one way. Then he looked the other way. He leaned in close and said in a quiet voice, "The thing is, Polly is so busy with her frog fans, She barely has time to say weather, let alone forecast it. I need you to keep an eye on the weather so we can plan a great day. I'll do my best, Mr. Mayor, Freddie said. Then Freddie offered to show the mayor his weather station.
You are invited to the leapfrog picnic. Very good. So does he trust his ability to tell the weather?
Yeah.
He does. Now, why do you guys think she is not really good at telling weather? Does she? She doesn't know how to. She's not really doing any kind of research or anything. She's just there to try to be famous, right?
Yeah.
All right.
As Freddie led the mayor out to the backyard, he explained, weather gets tricky to forecast this time of year. One day it's warm and dry. The next, it's cool and rainy. If it gets cold enough, it could even snow. The mayor was impressed with Freddie's weather station. Amazing, he declared, certain he had found the right frog for the job.
He has a weather station. Very cool.
Freddie wasn't about to let the town down. Every day he checked and rechecked his maps and instruments. Things were looking fine until the day before the picnic. If the cold front moving in from the west mixed with warm air from the south, it could bring strong thunderstorms. Freddie knew thunderstorms and picnics were not a good combination, and not just because it would soak all the fried cricket sandwiches. It could put the frogs in real danger. Freddie was worried. Polly Woggins hadn't mentioned a word about rain in her last report.
Who do you think they're going to listen to, him or Polly Woggins?
Hell yeah.
Let's see. What does he want to do? Does he want to keep the picnic or cancel it?
Cancel it.
Probably cancel it because he sees that there's going to be thunderstorms.
Freddie had to do something. He called the mayor and asked him to meet at his weather station. But when the mayor arrived, he wasn't alone. Freddie's favorite TV frogcaster, Sally Croker, was with him, tadpoles in tow. I heard you needed a little help, she explained. With no time to waste, Sally and Freddie hopped to it. Mr. Mayor, Sally said, Freddie is right. There is a big storm on the way. Quick, turn on the TV, said the mayor. Maybe we can get word to Polly in time for her last forecast. But they were too late. Polly was signing off, advising her frog fans to be prepared for perfect picnic weather tomorrow. Uh-oh, said Sally. Uh-oh is right, said the mayor. Hey, wait a minute, said Freddie. She's not all wrong. The mayor and Sally were confused. Be prepared, said Freddie. She said be prepared. We can do that. Why, yes we can, agreed the mayor with a big sigh of relief. Come on, Freddie, we've got work to do.
What do you guys think they're going to do to be prepared?
Tell everyone.
Maybe tell everyone?
Or maybe put on the news.
Okay.
Put it on the news.
Or maybe try to find a way to tell everybody. Let's see.
The big day started out fine, sunny and warm. All the frogs were having fun, playing in the lily pond and drying off in the warm sun. Right before lunch, things started to change. The fluffy white clouds turned gray and lumpy. There was a chill in the air, and the wind started to howl. A loud rumble sounded in the distance. Big, sloppy raindrops began to fall. The mayor grabbed a megaphone and said, Please move your family and your food to the frogatorium. I repeat, everyone head to the frogatorium now.
So how do they prepare for this? Good. They had the frogatorium ready because they knew this was going to happen, so everybody can get in there in safety before the rain starts falling.
Freddie held up a big white sign with a red arrow, guiding the fleeing froggies in the right direction. In no time at all, the frogs were settling in for an indoor picnic, cheering on the winner of the fly-eating contest and practicing for the leapfrog race. Happy frogs were nibbling on food piled high on tables that Freddie, Sally, and the mayor had set up the night before. Freddie knew that when it came to weather, it was always best to be prepared.
So they prepared everything in the Frogatorium before. What a beautiful picture. That's really pretty.
Oh.
Wouldn't you know it? The leapfrog picnic was a huge success. The mayor and Sally made sure everyone knew that Freddie's broadcasting had saved the day. Even Polly Woggon stopped by to thank him. She was a little embarrassed, but happy to give him credit. "You know, Freddie," she said, "I could use a broadcaster like you to help out. Would you like to be my assistant?" "I would," he shouted. Everyone laughed. "Look over there," said Sally. All the frogs turned. It was the biggest, most beautiful rainbow Freddie had ever seen. Freddie smiled. Things always look better after the sun comes out. And the future sure did look bright for this little frogcaster.
What do they mean by that? The future looked bright for this frogcaster. That he's one day going to be a really good frogcaster. Very good. He's going to be famous. Hi, friends. Quick look right over here. Outside your window. What do you see? Is it sunny, cloudy, rainy, windy, hot, cold, froggy, snowy? All of these foggy, snowy. All of these words describe different types of weather. One of the best parts about weather is that it is always changing. One day it's warm, another it's cold. Some days it rains, some days it snows. It all depends on what is happening in the air or atmosphere around us. That makes it extra fun for weather lovers like me and you to look for clues and be prepared for whatever the weather brings. Warm hat and mittens on a cold winter day, t-shirts and flip-flops on a sunny summer day. People who study the weather are called forecasters or meteorologists. Unless, of course, they are a frog like me. In that case, they are called frogcasters. We make the weather predictions you see on television, in the newspaper, online, and on radio. But forecasting is not guessing. Forecasters and frogcasters look for weather clues and use special scientific tools to make accurate forecasts. Clouds are one of the best weather clues out there. Plus, clouds are really cool. When water evaporates like a puddle drying up on the sidewalk, it doesn't disappear. It moves up into the air and forms little water drops or ice crystals. When millions and millions of these little droplets get together, they become a cloud. I love looking for clues in the clouds. Every day I look up at the sky and draw pictures of the clouds I see. Sometimes I see white and puffy cumulus clouds. They remind me of cotton balls, a sheep's wool, or cotton candy. People call these fair weather clouds because they show up on the prettiest days with lots of blue skies. Okay, this is written in first person or third person? This right here, this page is written in first person. It says I a lot. And then he says, I see, I love, I am. Okay, so it's written in first person. It says, if you look really closely and use your imagination a bit, sometimes you can see the shapes of animals and other things in this type of cloud. Other days, I have to look way, way up in the sky where cirrus clouds gather in the super cold air. These clouds are thin, wispy, feathery, and white. This is kind of like a connection to the story we read the other day about clouds, right? It talks about the types of clouds and the different clouds and what they mean. What I really wanted you to understand is that this part of the story is written in first person, but this part of the story is written in third person, okay? And then it talks a little more about the different stuff that meteorologists use to measure the weather. They have a thermometer, a rain gauge, weather vane, inometer, a barometer, and they look at high pressure, low pressure, and all of these really important things that lets us know how the weather will be. All right, so now what you're going to do is after we finished this, you're basically going to do page 152. Very easy. It's inflections, S and ES. So let's get to that page. It has a picture of dresses that are hung up. You can go. Dresses that are hung up, and it looks like this. Let's see if it'll open up. Well, let's read it. It says, to spell the plural of most words, add S as in bells. To spell the plural of words ending with SX and SH, add ES as in dresses. So you're going to write S or ES to make each word plural, then write the spelling word on the line. So number 1 says names. Names, is that ES or S? That's just S. And then you're going to write names on the line. Guys, the answers are in the spelling box that is on that paper to the right. Okay? Does everyone understand what they're doing? Great, because I can't find it on here anyway. All right, awesome. Good job. So that's all we're doing today for reading. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you later.